Yo, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle Got Camera, and today I want to talk to you about 7 unconventional books that have made me healthier, and I'm just going to jump right into it. This is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter, and the reason why this book has really impacted me is because it's all about the conversation that you're having inside your head and the dialogue that's going on and the words that you say and the power of your words and how they really do create what shows up in your life. This is a classic OG personal development book, and he talks about how we literally program our minds through the words that we say and the thoughts that we have. So he talks about this one idea that really was profound for me, and some of my mentors I started noticing all do the same thing, which is they've all recorded these tracks of what they want to create and who they want to become, and they listen to them. And this is something I do every day. And it sounds kind of crazy, but I literally have brainwashed myself to thinking and being and doing certain things through the process that he discusses in this book, where you basically write down what you want to do, who you want to be, and all the attributes that inspire you or are aspirational, and you record it and you listen to it either in the evening or in the morning or both, because that is when our unconscious mind is the most suggestible. And so the principle here is that beliefs will create actions, actions will create results, results will create feedback that feed those beliefs, and then the cycle perpetuates. So by interfering in the beliefs part of this, in the belief stage, we will be able to influence our behavior, which will then influence our results, which will then influence what we get in life, what happens, and who we become. So highly recommend this. It's a pretty short read, and I will make another video that I will link in the description whenever it goes live about how to create a custom hypnosis track, because it's something that I've shared with many of my friends, and it's an incredible resource. And it's really crazy how it doesn't seem like much is changing, but then 6 months or 12 months or 24 months down the road, your life is completely different, and the things that you actually said in this track came true. Believe me, when you experience it yourself, go try it, okay? Next is going to be Thinking in Systems by Donella Meadows. This is a very academic book that I've never heard anyone really mention other than 2 people, Sam Ovens and Nathan Laka, who's actually got a book down here, which we're going to get into in a second. But this is all about the idea that everything can be seen through the lens and through the frame of systems. A system has these different components, the inputs, the stock, and the outputs. And there is a feedback loop that is there as well. And this one idea that I took away from her was that if we can create systems that have outputs that feed the inputs, then we have a self-perpetuating system. And if you think about the body is very much a system of systems, right? We have the circulatory system, we have the endocrine system, we have the muscular system, the skeletal system, and all these systems are made up to create the human body. So when you're thinking about your health, you can break it down into systems, right? Like an example would be, how is my spiritual health? How is my mental health? How is my physical health? How is my environmental health, right? All these different systems, they work together to give us our experience that could be either dis-ease or wellness. And by breaking things down into systems, it helps to simplify and categorize things. This has been tremendously impactful in terms of my business. So the part of the reason why I started this YouTube channel is because YouTube is very much a system, and the way that my business is organized is a system. So the more people who watch my videos will come onto my email list or buy my products or products that I recommend, and the more people who come into my ecosystem, the more people I will send back to YouTube. The more people go to YouTube, the more the video ranks, and the more the video ranks and the more people see that video, the more people will come into my ecosystem, and it feeds itself like that. And thus it takes a lot of pressure off of needing things to always be driven by me, which brings me to the next book, is perfect transition, which is Who, okay, by Jeff Smart and Randy Street. So this book is all about, when you're solving a problem, don't think what, don't think how, think who, right? It's about hiring, and mostly in the context of business, right? But I've optimized my life, and I have delegated many things, including cooking, cleaning, and a lot of stuff on social media, right? And I was able to do that because I started to let go and I started to solve my problems with people instead of me trying to figure things out or me trying to do everything myself. Now, the reason why that was important for me is because the biggest thing that gets in the way of people improving their health or reaching their goals is, based on the polls that I've done from the people on my list and the people in my group, is that it's time. I just don't have enough time. Well, you don't have enough time because you're trying to do everything. And if you can solve your problems with finding the right people, then you can build systems, right? Plug people into those systems, and then you can free up your time, which will give you more time to work on your health or do whatever it is that you want to do in your free time, okay? Perfect transition again. It's like I planned this. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Absolutely the most influential book in my life, bar none, all right? The reason why it has been so influential is because it taught me how to think. And I think thinking is a rudiment that most people don't really spend much time learning. Tim Ferriss is very good at asking questions, and he enrolled me in the idea of, if we ask better questions, we will get better answers. And through that thought process, we can create more possibilities. So when I was first starting my videography business, I was really struggling with my health, and I was thinking, man, how can I do this video thing and take care of myself health-wise, but also financially? Like how can I do what I love, which is making videos and all the things that come along with videography, but then also have the income to support me and the lifestyle as well, so that the freedom, right? So I asked this question, if I could only do one project a month and still make 6 figures, how could I make that happen? And through the process of asking questions like that, I was able to create a situation for myself that was very fruitful, it was very different, very unconventional, but it provided the freedom and the time for me and the financial support to take care of myself in a way that was necessary during that challenging time. So if you haven't read this, you absolutely should. If you have read it, you should definitely reread it to just get you to question things, just get you to think differently, right? In regards to your health, you can start hacking, you can start synthesizing, you can start making better decision on what is actually going to move the needle using some of the principles that Tim Ferriss talks about in this book. Next book is going to be How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital by Nathan Laka. So quick disclaimer, Nathan has very controversial ideas about business, and some people who don't have a strong stomach will probably get offended. And I just want to forewarn you, I don't agree with everything Nathan says in his book, but there are some ideas, there are some strategies in here around creating wealth that I think could benefit a lot of people. Let me give you an example. So Nathan talks a lot about building systems, right, that produce wealth, a certain type of wealth, passive income. And passive income is a very elusive term for many people, but it basically just means leveraged income, meaning there is a system that can make money, and either that system is self-sufficient or you get people to run that system, and then you can make money while you sleep or while you're not working. This has been so powerful for me because as I've started to earn passive income myself, it has taken so much pressure off of needing to do everything now and being at the whim of clients. Thus, it gives me greater space to think, and God forbid anything happens, I still have money coming in. And just the peace of mind that gives me and that gives other people is incredible and brings down stress quite a bit. Let me ask you this question. If you had $5,000 a month coming in every single month, whether you worked or not, how would that change the way that you make decisions? If you had $10,000 a month coming in, no matter what, how would that change the way that you make decisions? If you had $20,000 a month coming in, no matter what, whether you worked or not, how would that change the way that you make decisions? Well, it would change a lot. It would change a lot. And I feel that oftentimes we're doing things because I was doing things because it was like, okay, well, like I got to financially support myself. I got to make a living. I got to take care of these things, blah, 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 whatever. The story is there and is built into American society. And so what happens on the other side of work? Like, what if our purpose and everything that we're creating didn't have to be monetized? It didn't have to make money, and we actually didn't have to think about money because that money was always coming in. Think about that, marinate on that. It's a powerful idea. Next is going to be The 12 Stages of Healing by Donnie Epstein. Okay, this guy is the guru of all gurus in terms of emotional healing. He created Network Chiropractic, which I made a video about, and I will link up right there and in the description. And this is a book about the breathwork technique that he uses in tandem with his Network Chiropractic therapy, I guess, for lack of a better word. But it is these exercises that you do, and there's different breath patterns that are associated with different states of being. And so sometimes when you're dealing with emotional turmoil, or you're feeling stuck in a pattern, or you're experiencing even a good emotion that you want to experience more of, we can alter, we can change, and we can invite that type of state in so that we can experience it and we can alleviate it, or we can continue it and we can bring ourselves more into that state of being. It sounds very out there, it sounds very woo-woo, but if you're dealing with emotional challenges, you're dealing with emotional stress, highly, highly, highly recommend you give this a try and check it out, because it is powerful. And I that's all I'm going to say, because it's very out there, but it works. And when you try it, you're going to be like, whoa, that's crazy. Last but not least is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. This is such an amazing book for your mindset. You know, Jeff talks about this principle, this idea, the slight edge, is that in order to achieve anything in life, all we have to do is get 1% better every day. And that 1% better will compound year over year, decade over decade. And so sometimes a lot of pressure, in my experience, comes from feeling like everything needs to happen right now and it needs to be perfect. But what if we just got a little bit better every single day? And it could be as simple as just going for a walk, or it could be as simple as waking up with the sun and going outside and watching the sunrise, or it could be as simple as just saying I love you to your partner. These little tiny acts that are easy to do but also easy not to do are the difference between what make people successful and what make people failure. So this is an incredible book, has my highest endorsement. I'm actually rereading it again because it puts me in such a good place mentally to just reframe things, be like, man, there's more than enough time. I just got to build these really simple habits that are going to support the long-term goals that I have, and things will happen. Not usually in the time that I think they're going to happen, but they will happen. And when they do, it's going to like come out of nowhere and you'll be like, wow, like everything's great. All right. So go check it out. It's really great. And if you have any unconventional books that have supported you in your journey, I would love to hear about them in the comments. And if you made it to this far in the video, definitely subscribe. And if you haven't seen this video, check out this one or maybe this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Be well.